Welcome to Iowa Speedway. I am Steven Stumpf. He's Wyatt Watson. We're reporters for Frontstretch.com, and we are here after the conclusion of the Iowa Corn 350, the second ever, which William Byron won, leading a race-high 141 laps and saving enough fuel to take the checkered flag for his second win of the season after winning the season-opening Daytona 500. Big win for him. He retakes the regular season points lead from Chase Elliott, and he's also won Iowa in all three series now.
Yeah, awesome day for the 24 team. I mean, we were all thinking, is he going to run out of fuel again? It's happened at Michigan, it happened at Indianapolis. Not really for the win there, but he's just had all these opportunities to win, and he finally gets it done. It's a great day for the 24 team. Rudy Fugle was happy as well to get that win because, I mean, Daytona 500 seems like a century ago with how the season's played out. But, you know, the 24 team gets on top here at Iowa. Great race for the 24 team.
Yes, and to that point, between taking the checker flag at Daytona and taking the checker flag here, William had led 900 laps. Think about how he dominated the 600. Darlington finished second both times. It's been a long time coming for him to get back into victory lane. He's been one of the best teams this season. Now, just behind him was Chase Briscoe, but in third was Brad Keselowski, who won the first two stages, and for much of the race, it looked like he had the very best car and could maybe win his way into the playoffs.
Boy, howdy, how that would have shook up the playoff picture once again. Yeah, Brad has been he had his best race of the season, and I looked at the points. He was 33rd coming out of Kansas. He is now 19th in points. He's not in range to point his way in by any means with 3 races left, but yeah, he had such an incredible race today, just controlling from the front and stealing the stage win from Byron in stage 1, and just looked fast. If the cautions didn't fly there, as it got chaotic in stage 3. If the cautions didn't fly there, we could be talking about the Salmon Plumbing number 6 in victory lane today.
Indeed. It was also a big day for Ryan Preece. He finished 5th, especially, he was running literally 30th, about to get lapped for second half of the race. But stage 2, he ran long, caught a caution, was pretty much at the front of the field the rest of the day. He's still below the cut line, but with Chris Buescher's rather mediocre day, he's now only 23 points back. Of course, that could change if we get more winners, but a great result for the 60 team. Definitely one that they needed. Further back after that, we had, I guess before we get into one of the bigger stories of this race, we should talk about how the race kind of played out. The first 2 stages were cut and dry. Only one caution, I think only 2 cautions for cause, It was pretty much Byron, Blaney, Keselowski out front, Briscoe as well, taking turns, swapping the lead. And then the final stage, broke loose with about 7 cautions at the start of the final stage. It seemed like we couldn't get anything going. There was like a wreck every 5 laps. It was quite the experience to see.
Oh my gosh! I mean, where do you start? Chase Briscoe is all over the place, getting a couple. Carson Hocevar made a couple of appearances once again here in this one, which you'll talk about more. But it's like it just threw everyone for a loop in terms of strategy. I mean, I think Lee Diff even said on the broadcast, there's 5 different strategies being played. We were posting memes about like I had the hangover numbers going through my head, like what is going on? How are we going to see the end of this? And it ended up with the 70-lap green flag run at the end to see Byron somehow, some way, not run out of fuel this time, like we said. So
the win basically came down to whoever pit the latest but had enough fuel to get to the end. That ended up being Byron. He pitted on lap 205, made the last 145 laps with a bunch of caution to the end. He held off Briscoe and Keselowski on a 64-lap run to the finish, which was kind of surprising, considering how the start of the final stage was. And even more surprising is the fact that despite all of that chaos, every single car finished the race, which is kind of nuts to think about.
And here's one other. I didn't think we'd be talking about him, but where did he come from? Bubba Wallace in 6th, backing up that Brickyard 400 rather. He was 2 laps down at one point today. I saw him come through the field to maybe get a top 10. I was thinking, and then we come out here and he's 6th. I'm like, what? How did that happen? So great race for them to back up what they did last week, and just showed you how great the racing, the crowd, everything here at Iowa is great today.
Yeah, he had damage from an earlier incident. He came back from 2 laps down to finish 6th. I think that goes to show, one, how easy it was at least the end of the race to make it through the field, and also just how many cautions there were that just completely kept resetting the race as we went on. But behind Bubba Wallace in 6th was Carson Hocevar in 8th. He had a solid top 10 day with where he's running.
He's
got
a lot of friends right now.
Yeah, I would definitely say so. That's I was talking to him. Well, first of all, I should mention that he got spun out at the end of stage 2, but he also was on the bottom, got loose, spun into Zane Smith. Zane ended up finishing second to last, 6 laps down. There was another incident he was involved in later. But anyways, so I was interviewing Hocevar, and then Zane's crew chief walks up middle of the interview and basically confronts Carson and had some choice words to say, which you can, see online at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it's Carson Hocevar. No need for introduction. He's a polarizing driver, and it's starting to boil over with teams, with other people in the garage, and it's just been one of those years for him. I mean, just year number 2, and he's already making headlines. It seems like every other week, which, I mean, from a journalist and even for a fan perspective, this is exactly what NASCAR really needs in terms of someone to talk about in that way. But I mean, choice words, like you said, from the crew chief, of course, could have been better handled there. But at the same time, I mean, who can't love Carson Hocevar and what he does on the track these days?
Well, during the race, we also saw that Zane Smith tried to. Tried to just hung a right and tried to spin him out in one of the corners, but missed. SVG was also frustrated with him on the radio. But I think it's worth noting that almost everyone was frustrated with someone in this race. It wasn't just the 77. Chase Briscoe got, basically had the same move, accidentally took out Reddick and Bell, 2 Toyota teammates. Larson, you should have seen Kyle Larson's radio. It was probably the most expletives I've heard nonstop in one of his radio communications. Ty Dillon had a rough day too. Kyle Busch, Alex had a rough day too. It's just, it's just one of those races where,
short track racing at the fastest short track in planet Earth.
Yep, and we had one happy guy, maybe a couple other happy ones in the top 5 to escape with that, and then the whole field that was pretty, angry with the rest of each other. But that's all from Iowa. Hope you guys enjoyed the coverage this weekend. Next week is Watkins Glen, where we will see if Shane Van Gisbergen or someone else will win that race. 3 races left in the Cup Series until the start of the playoffs. We're excited to bring you all the action. We'll have a whole new crew at Watkins Glen bringing you the action next week. But until then, I'm Steven Stumpf. He's Wyatt Watson, and thank you for watching.
My Place Hotels is proud to be the official hotel partner of Frontstretch. With plush beds, in-room kitchens, and pet-friendly hotels, My Place makes for the perfect pit stop when traveling. Frontstretch fans can use promo code Frontstretch to save 10% on your stay at any of our nationwide properties. Sign up for our Stay Rewarded program to get even more savings. With My Place Hotels, don't just stay rewarded.
All right, so one final thing I wanted to talk to you about. Well, 2 things, actually. First of all, you're nominated for the Hall of Fame. May take you more than a year or 2. Sometimes it does that. But being named one of the 75 greatest drivers in NASCAR history out of the hundreds, probably a couple of thousand people who've raced in NASCAR in the top 3 levels, what did that mean to you?
I really thought I pissed them off a few times.
Well, I know you did that. But
yeah, I know. So
you're not alone in that.
Yeah, I was quite surprised and very honored. That's no small task, and it's just you don't go into it when you're 18, because I had to wait till I was 18 to start. I never thought I was going to be in the Hall of Fame. And then growing up, you see the guys. I would go to the racetracks, and you see the black jackets and New England Auto Racing Hall of Fame guys. And I was, that guy's an old racer. Oh, that guy's an old racer. That guy's an old racer. Yeah, well, now I got one of those jackets. I'm one of those old racers.
You're still young at heart. I know that. So don't worry about that.